So we're here this afternoon at the Airflow National Meet in London, Ontario, Canada, and I'm talking with Iris Anderson. Iris, tell us how you came to be an Airflow Club member and started attending meets.
So my grandparents, my grandpa actually, he has 5 Airflows at home in his garage. And I was watching him work on them in the garage, and I was like, what a car is that? And he was like, oh, it's a very vintage car. And I was like, vintage car? And he was like, yeah, it's a Chrysler Airflow. And I was like, what the heck is a Chrysler Airflow? And then he told me how he goes to these meets every year, in different places in the world. And I was like, wow, that's really, really cool. And I asked if I could come to one. He was like, yeah, sure, you can. And because really, I think it's amazing learning history and stuff, and also being able to travel is just a great opportunity. And my first Airflow meet was just, I loved it because I could hang out with people, and I got to make new friends, even though they were a lot older than me. And it was just a great time, and I really learned a lot.
Great. How old are you now?
I am 11.
And do you remember how old you were on your very first meet?
If it was 2024, and the year before that was July, and then the year before that was June. So hadn't been my birthday yet. So I was 8.
You're probably 8. Yeah, I think you were too. And what grade are you in?
I'm going into 6th in the fall.
Okay, and where do you live?
Maryland. Ellicott City, Maryland.
Okay, great. What else do you like about the Airflow itself as a car? Is there anything that strikes you as being really, really interesting?
Well, I think it's a beautiful car itself, and all the gauges inside of the car, and all the wheels. It's just amazing to see all those tiny details that are carved into the metal and stuff, and the eagle emblem on the grill on the front.
Yes, the front grill.
And I think it's really pretty how people preserve the cars, and since that was such a long time ago, and keep them alive. It's really cool.
Right. And did you know they were first originated in 1934?
Yes.
And they went for 4 years, so they're 34 through 37. So they were only they were only manufactured for 4 years, which makes it very unique.
Yes.
And anything else you want to add about coming to the meets every year with your grandparents and your mom and dad?
So I actually got my brother and sister to come, and it was I love going to the meets, and I learned a lot. So my grandpa made me memorize the 3 Musketeers' names that made the Airflow. So it's Carl Breer, Owen Skelton, and Fred Zeter. And I know that the 2 manufacturers were Chrysler and DeSoto, and that Chrysler did 34, 35, 36, and 37 generations, but DeSoto only did 34, 35, and 36.
That's correct. Yes.
And I love coming here because each hotel is different, and every day you get to go on a special adventure. I remember last year in California, it was a 96-hour car ride, 96-hour car ride, and it was so fun traveling and seeing all the pretty sights. And I love dressing up for the banquet.
Yeah.
And the Fun and Ugly auction it's probably one of my favorite parts of the trips, besides the cars themselves, because it's just raising money for the club while you're having fun, and Chandler's telling jokes to everybody. And I love helping with that. And it's just really fun experience that you can't get anywhere else.
Well, you have such a great knowledge of the Airflow, and I know that all the club members will enjoy listening to this, and I just want to thank you for your time, and I hope that we see you at many, many more meets to come. And there you have it, folks, an 11-year-old who knows all about the Chrysler Airflow.